online at etbu.edu or call 800-804-ETBU.
Good afternoon, and thank you for clicking in today at etbsports.com on the ETBU Sportsnet. It's our weekly visit at CC's Pizza in Marshall, Texas for ETBU Extra. Hello, I'm Mike Midkiff along with Jason Souls. Today on the show, we'll talk with the head football coach of ETBU, Josh Eargle. Also on tap, we're talking basketball as well as ETBU Tiger basketball prepares for an upcoming season. We're visiting with Michael Prather, assistant men's coach at ETBU, and Dustin Howard, the head coach of the Lady Tigers. Also this week at the ETBU website, you've had a chance to vote on your best performance of the week by ETBU Tiger Athletics. Up for the running was Landon Price's fourth place finish at the American Southwest Conference Cross Country Championships, Shelby Taylor's eighth place finish at the ASC Cross Country, and Tyler Bates' performance this past Saturday with the win the Tigers had over Sul Ross State. We'll reveal those winners here in just a moment on the ETBU Extra. First up, Jason Souls, my broadcast partner in the booth, had his first chance at play-by-play announcing during the third quarter, and you scored all the points with the Tigers Saturday in that win over Sul Ross.
Yeah, as bad as I was, Coach Eargle may want me on the mic for those games because we did get a chance to call a lot of touchdowns, and that was an experience for me, and it was fun. It's always fun, to talk about something you love, and then when you see people scoring points, it makes it that much more fun.
First time you ever did play-by-play football on ETB Sportsnet, and you got 3 touchdowns. How'd you do it, Jason?
It was accident. It was all completely – no, it had nothing to do with me. You can talk to Tyler Bates, who had a couple of those. He had a phenomenal game on Saturday, and we're getting so spoiled by him because he comes out every week and just makes plays, and they know it's coming, and he still finds a way to get it done.
All right, enough talking about Jason and his performance in the broadcast booth Saturday. Let's go to the head coach of the Tigers, Joshua Eargle, and the Tigers win over Sul Ross State by a final score of 45-30. Earlier in the week when I interviewed you for the radio show, I kind of mentioned a W makes things so much better around the hill.
Oh, there's no question about that. We always love wins around ETBU, and to beat Ornella Stadium just in that environment, and our kids have really embraced that this year. And those seniors are trying to leave something behind, something really, really special that, our opponent doesn't come into Ornella Stadium and expect to win. And I think they're creating that, being 4-1 there and only losing a game by 1 point. On the last play of the game, it's a tough place to play now, and we're excited about that. And we got to find a way this week somehow take that on the road.
It was an afternoon game on the schedule, 2 p.m. kickoff against Sul Ross State. You pick up your first American Southwest Conference victory. Was it kind of different playing an afternoon game at Ornelas besides the night games we've been having on the schedule?
Yeah, it was. I mean, we've got accustomed to those lights coming on in Ornelas Stadium, and everybody showing up, and it just being a great environment at nighttime. But we just tried to move up a little bit. Our road game the week before kind of stair-stepped us to 4 o'clock, and then we were at 2 o'clock this week. So as the temperatures change and daylight time changes, and we've kind of just been adjusting to that and just trying to roll our clocks up a little bit.
In a moment, we're going to talk more about that win over Sul Ross State the Tigers had Saturday. First, Coach, I want to give you an opportunity to talk about some of your players that helped your team prepare for that victory, players on your scout team that don't get the publicity they need each week, but they play a major part in what the Tigers do on the field each week.
Yeah, absolutely. Each week we like to recognize the scout team players of the week and getting our defensive ready. We were trying to get ready for their quarterback, and Jeremiah Drake did a phenomenal job of doing that. Played a really athletic team on last Saturday, and their quarterback was an improviser, and Jeremiah Drake is a young man from Duncanville High School that can do that really, really well. And so he got our defense ready to go and be prepared for that. Offensively, that helped our offense out, on defense, was Nathan Gullickson, right here, product from East Texas, and he does a great job every week. We could probably mention him. I think he's been mentioned before on special teams, but Nathan Gullickson's just phenomenal player for us. He does a good job. He'll grow into Tiger fans will know his name here shortly. And then scout team-wise, Isaiah Burton, right from White House, Texas, is a young man that came and helped us out on special teams on our coverage units.
Visiting with Joshua Eargle on ETBU Extra today, talking Tiger football. Mike Midkiff along with Jason Souls. We're live from CC's Pizza in Marshall, Texas, where each Wednesday from noon to 1 p.m. as we do the show here live, you have an opportunity to purchase the buffet, including the drink, for only $5. Tigers win over Sul Ross State 45-30. It's the first conference win of the year as the Tigers go to 1-2 in conference play with 2 games remaining on the schedule. They're now 4-4 on the year. And Coach, Jason and I were talking before the game that we expected things to score quickly, but it took a while to get things going. In the first half, you went in at halftime only leading 14-7. Did that kind of surprise you?
Well, this year it's nothing really surprised me anymore. I mean, we just kind of take it play by play, series by series. I really thought that our defense came out, and if you go through the drives in the first half, it's a 3 and out, it's a fumble recovery, it's 2 fourth down stops. We let him get loose on a big time scramble by the quarterback that scored a touchdown. Then we come back with an interception, then another 4th down stop. So you give up 7 points defensively. We were put in bad field position on somewhere they were starting some of their possessions. I thought the defense really still in their head, did a really good job in the first half. And then offensively, we shot ourselves in the foot. We were put in bad spots defensively because we were turning the ball over. Uncharacteristically, we normally don't do that. We've been phenomenal. We've been in the top 10 in turnover margin all year in the country. And I still think we're like number 5, and we had a bad day. So they've done a good job of hanging on to the football all year, but we just didn't in the first half. We were able to come in, calm everybody down, and come out in the second half. And when they hang on to the football, take care of it, like they did in the second half, that's when the points start racking up.
So when you went in halftime, only had 14-7. What was instructions to your team for the second half?
Well, I don't think there's any panic. I think that we had tried to prepare them to play 4 quarters anyway. The past 3 weeks we'd come up short. It's come down to the 4th quarter. So they kind of knew we were in this thing for the long haul, and we're going to play hard. I mean, you tell the defense, hey, you got a 7-point lead. If they don't score again, you win. And you tell the offense, hey, we got to get this thing rolling. We got to create a little bit of separation. You guys turned the ball over and stopped yourselves. So go out there and be you and eliminate those mistakes, and let's see how good we can be in the second half. And those kids respond to that, and they do a good job each and every week at locking in, and they were able to finish this game this week, and that was the most important thing for us because of what had happened here recently. We need to finish a game, and we did that.
Visiting with Joshua Eargle at ETBU Tigers on ETBU Extra. I want to bring in Jason Souls with a question to Coach Eargle.
Coach, a lot of great offensive performances, but let's talk a little bit more about that defense. Came out ready to play, a couple stops early, none bigger than the interception in the end zone after we gave them a couple opportunities. Talk a little bit about how important that was.
Well, yeah, it was. Creating turnovers has been big for us defensively. It's really kind of bailed us out of some bad situations all year. Had more 3 and outs in the first half than we've had, and so that was a good sign too. You get down there tight, and crazy series of events with penalties going kind of back and forth, and a new set of downs, and getting nervous about it. Then all of a sudden, Dominic Bailey comes up with a big interception. By the way, that's his 10th career interception of his career. That puts him second all time on the list by himself. He's 3 shy of tying the leader there for all-time interceptions at ETBU, and he's still got another year to play, plus 2 games this year. So we're excited about what he was able to do as an individual, but that really helped our defensive unit out and helped us get off the field right there. So I really thought they were put in some bad situations in the first half, and I'm so proud of the way they responded. And they didn't concede points. I mean, it wasn't like, oh, they're down here in the red zone, so let's try to get on the field. No, they were trying to get out the field with no points scored, and they did that several times. And apart from one busted play and allowing the quarterback to get loose and scramble, and had 2 missed tackles on that play, I really felt like they played really, really well. I mean, about as good as we could play in the first half.
Now, with Dominic Bailey getting his 10th career interception, you ever thought about moving him to Scotty Walden's offense?
Yeah, I think we're okay on offense. We've got enough receivers over there. We need to keep Dominic right where he's at over there at corner.
Let's talk about your offense now and your performance in that ball game. Once again, the team racked up 578 total yards on offense. I believe the average per play is close to around 6 or 7 per yard. Once again, the offense is clicking. And matter of fact, I read a story on BleacherReport.com today about your offensive coordinator, Scotty Walden. Nice to read his philosophy about scoring quick and getting the team out there and go quick at a high pace. And we've seen it since you've been here in your second year. Let's talk about the performances. Jason knows how crazy I go in the booth when Stephen Alford makes a catch. And once again, as I was watching the highlights that were put up on YouTube, he makes great catches. And how does he do it each week?
Yeah, well, we talk about him every week with it seems like he comes with big catches down the field. He, when that ball's in the air, he just has a belief that that's his football. And he's going to go up there and he's going to attack it and he's going to snatch it out of the air. So many times you see receivers that are big, old, tall, physical specimens, but they catch the ball around their waist or they basket catch him. And he does a phenomenal job of going up and attacking the ball and high point. And a lot of times, those balls he's going to catch are jump balls, and they're down the sideline. So he does a good job of doing that. Stephen Alford's now become our second receiver since we've been here to over 1,000 yards. They're the only 2 in school history. So with Jermaine Sherman last year, who got a chance with the Rams, and now with Stephen, who's got 2 games left, he's already at 1,000. We're excited about that receiving core. But there's 8 or 9 guys that could go out there receiving core and produce good numbers each week. we're just excited about the guys that are able to come up and we're able to distribute the ball and get the ball to as many people as possible.
And we do highlight those acrobatic catches where those guys go up and get the ball. But I felt like this week more than any, Josh was on target, threw 3 or 4 just phenomenal throws at the touchdown to Tyler over the outside shoulder and a couple back shoulder throws that are just really underrated. They're things we've come to expect from this offense. But I think those are the detail things that
Right.
we miss.
Well, those guys work extremely hard, and precision is a big part of that offense because you want to stay ahead of the chains. You want to keep the chains moving. You want to keep the defense on their heels, so to speak, by going so fast. Well, you can't go fast if you're not getting first downs. And so the precision, if you go all the way to the offensive line, the precision of their landmarks on their blocks, all the way to Josh's throw or to the focus from the receivers catching the football. I mean, Tyler Bates goes out and has a phenomenal day. He catches about 15 balls and scores 3 touchdowns and has another career yardage day receiving. He ties the career touchdown record here at ETBU at 20. So he's got 2 games to catch 1 touchdown. I got a good feeling that's going to happen.
It's going to happen.
Based off of past performances. And then he'll be all by himself. Josh Warburton with his performance and these guys we're talking about throwing to. I mean, he's throwing out there to Dembo and R.J. Hester and Stephen Alford. We talked about him, and Tyler Bates, has a career day again. Last week he sets the career receptions record. He's still got another year to play. And now he's tying the touchdown record. He's still got another year to play. Warburton's still got another year to play. He breaks the touchdown record and throwing. He's all by himself breaking Phil Van Cleve's record this week, and they still got 2 games this season, plus they're all juniors. Then you got Roy Butler. Well, you throw the ball to Roy Butler on Saturday, and I've said it a couple times, but the illustration stands. You put that boy with the ball in the phone booth, I don't know if he gets touched. I mean, he's unbelievable. He's shaking guys loose, and so that's just a deadly combination. You got an offensive line protected, knocking holes in the run game, and then you're rolling 3 or 4 backs in there that are very capable. I mean, that's a tough offense to stop for anybody.
I want to talk about your offensive line. We've talked about before, your senior-led offensive line in the game, the win Saturday against Sullivan State. A lot of times after Bates catches or Alfred catches or Butler catches, I see offensive linemen down the field doing downfield blocking. I thought linemen were supposed to stay back and protect the quarterback.
Mm-hmm. Well, they can't leave the line of scrimmage until the ball's thrown. But what you'll see is those guys chase the ball fanatically with relentless effort. And they play hard. You got 4 seniors out of those 5 guys, and they know how to play the game. And many times you're right. I mean, you look up and you'll have a Tyler Bates or you'll have a Stephen Alford or Roy Butler going into the end zone. You'll have a running back going into the end zone for a touchdown. It was a 60-yard play, and all of a sudden you're looking up, there's Mike Garcia or Landon Boffman or Alex Shetter or Charles Williams standing there right beside him. I mean, they've all done a phenomenal job of leading our offense up front and by example. They just kind of keep their mouth shut. They go to work every day. They work extremely hard. And you throw Tyler Scott, a young sophomore, in there with them, and they're a deadly combination right now up front.
You're listening to ETBU Extra on the ETBU Sportsnet. Thank you for clicking in. We're live from CC's Pizza in Marshall, Texas, where if you join us each Wednesday during the noon hour, you can eat the buffet, including the drink, for only $5. Mike Minkin along with Jason Souls, and we've talked about the offensive side in that win over Sullivan State, 45-30 this past Saturday. Let's go to the defensive side of the ball, Coach. And you called his name out a lot, Caleb Taylor. I called out his name a lot. Caleb led the team in tackles for the 11. He's a freshman from Alba, Texas, and I know you're glad that he is coming back.
Oh, there's no question about that. I think each week Caleb's gotten better and better. I'm extremely excited about his progress. What's growing each week that allows him to play better is his confidence. And when he's getting that amount of reps, his confidence is growing. What you're seeing, he's starting to throw his body around. He's starting to get the big hit stick every other week. He has 11 tackles. He blocks a kick this week. I mean, he's coming on. He's kind of coming into himself. I've tried to get him come on the show with us before and be one of our guests, but he's just a quiet guy. Doesn't want to talk, say a whole lot. He just wants to go play football, and he does a really good job of doing that. And we're really excited about having him around for 3 more years here at ETBU.
Coach, we saw some big disparities in time of possession where we're okay not having the ball very long as we're scoring points. The last couple of weeks, that's gone kind of more toward even. Is that something we've done by design, or is that just kind of how things have gone to give the defense more time?
Well, I think what you're seeing the defense get a little better. That's what I think's happening. And when you go 3 and out, and then you put the offense back on the field, well, now that's our time of possession coming back into effect. Early in the year, what you'd see is we're right there getting them off the field, and we give a 3rd down stop, and we were horrible on 3rd downs. And so now those drives are turning into 13, 15, whatever 16 play drives where we're on the field and people are trying to milk the clock and keep our offense off the field. Well, now what's happening is we're getting better on third down. We're getting better on third down percentage, getting off just overall as a defense. We get 3 and outs every once in a while, and then now all of a sudden the offense back on the field. That's really helping us. It's helping us at the end of games have more energy defensively and play better in the fourth quarter, just simply because we're not on the field so much in the first half. I think our running backs have done a really good job of running the football. The better that we run the football, the more Scotty feels like he can give them the ball. And when we do that, of course, that eats up more clock. And I just think it's really – I think that the overall determining factor is that we're better on third downs as a defense because those young kids are growing up. And I think we're getting off the field in more 3 and outs.
Absolutely. And coming into this week, you're probably glad your guys aren't having to chase down James Davis. You knew he was going to be tough going in, and he's kind of the key to their offense. And, him extending the play was able to get them moving forward. Talk about Hardin Simmons, or, is their quarterback similar? Are we going to see something like that this week? What can we expect from them?
Well, Hardin Simmons is more of a pocket guy, more a pocket passer. They hang their hat on running the football, and they do a phenomenal job. They got 2 backs really high in the standings as far as yards rushed, and they do a really good job of their scheme up front with powers and counters and keeping you off base. He can sit in the pocket, he can throw it, and he can beat you throwing it, and they can beat you running the football. So they got a kind of a balanced attack, but when it comes down to it, we've got to be able to stop the run to be effective this week. So we'll have our hands full there, and then they play a similar scheme that we do on defense, a 4-2-5, and they do it really, really well. I mean, the coordinator came from Mississippi College last year, so he's familiar with the conference. They've had a great year. They had a 5-game winning streak at one point that got snapped last week. But last week they're winning 14-10, I believe, over there in Belton. So a really big opponent. You got Senior Day on their end over there in Abilene. And so we're going to have our hands full this week. Don't have to chase around a mobile quarterback, but we got other issues to take care of with those guys.
Coach Josh Eargle talking about the Hardin Simmons Cowboys, the opponent this Saturday for the Tigers. 1 p.m. kickoff in Abilene. Encourage you to click into the ETBU Sportsnet to hear that game this Saturday. Hardin Simmons 5-2 in the year, 2-1 American Southwest Conference play. Hardin Simmons has a new turf field this year. As we do the show live here today on the ETBU Sportsnet from CC's in Marshall, Texas. We're watching it rain outside. The weather Saturday is supposed to be nice and beautiful. A little bit breezy, but it's always breezy in West Texas.
Yeah.
I'm kind of curious, do you take your team out in a slop today, or do you try to find a dry place indoors somewhere to work out to prepare for Hardin Simmons?
Well, yesterday we tried to get a good day in. It sprinkled on us back and forth a little bit while we were out there, and so we kind of got a little bit of that done. But we're going to try to go to some sure footing, so we're going to go inside today. And then when it's sunny again tomorrow, we'll get back on some turf field tomorrow over there in Marshall. And Coach Harper's been nice to extend that to us. And so we're going to take advantage of that and get ready for a big day on Saturday.
Let's talk about your game plan. Without revealing anything to Hardin Simmons, what do the Tigers have to do to see the best part of the scoreboard in the Tigers' favor?
Yeah, defensively, I kind of hit on it. We've got to stop their running game out. I mean, they hang their hat so much on the running game, they're going to hand it off enough times to get yards, but we've got to be able to handle it in situations where we've got to be able to get off the field, and we know they're going to run it. They know they're going to run it. The whole stadium knows it's fixed to be handed off. We've got to be able to win those battles. And that's where that game's going to come down to defensively. Can we stop their 2 running backs and that big offensive line and what they do best? Offensively, we're going to have to establish our running game against a really good defense that twists a lot up front and gives you a lot of issues in the run game because of how active they are up front. But we need to establish our run game so that our passing game stays open and we're able to hit those targets effectively, and they can't just drop 8 or do anything crazy where it would impair our passing game. So we got to get our running game established just like they're going to try to do. And so I believe the team that can stop each other's run and establish their own personality on offense is going to win.
Coach, thank you for your time on ETBU Sports Extra today. We're going to bring a couple of players, I believe. Josh Warmington is here. And I see Tyler Bates here as well?
Yes.
All right. So coming up after the break, we're going to visit with Josh Warmington, the quarterback from the ETBU Tigers. And we're also going to visit with Tyler Bates, the wide receiver for ETBU. That'll be coming up next on the ETBU Sports Net. We're live from CC's Pizza in Marshall, Texas, each Wednesday from noon to 1 p.m. If you join us here in Marshall, you can have the pizza and the drink for just $5. And as I look across the crowd, we've got a great crowd here. A lot of folks from ETBU. I see Crystal Williams and her husband Calvin Williams are here today. I noticed there's a group from Harleton High School. They're here from one of their classes on a field trip to Marshall today, and I got to mention Ashton, Midkiff, and Faith Earle. Their parents work at ETBU. Alicia is Faith's mom. She works in the financial aid department. Of course, Ashton Midkiff is my son. Glad to have Nathan Haig from the Marshall News Messenger here today. Of course, you can read about the Tigers each week, hope several times in the Marshall News Messenger. And we encourage you, if you're in the Harrison County area, to come down to CC's each Wednesday as we talk Tiger athletics and enjoy the buffet. $5 including a drink. Okay, we're going to bring in Josh Warmington and Tyler Bates. When we come back on the ETB Sportsnet, we'll also reveal to you the fan vote from the best performance this week by a Tiger athlete. Back with more of the ETB Extra Show from CC's Pizza in Marshall, Texas in just a minute. You're listening to the ETBU Sportsnet.
When it comes to your internet, you don't want kinda fast. You want pedal to the metal, blow past that checkered flag, and sit in the winner's circle fast. You want everybody surfing and streaming their brains out fast. And you can only get that kind of fast from Fidelity. Get Fidelity's 20 meg internet for just $30 a month for a whole year with free installation and no contract. Or get our new 100 meg turbo speed internet and we'll give you a free Kindle Fire HD tablet. Call now or order online at fidelitycommunications.com.
Restrictions apply. Call for details.
Welcome back to the ETBU Extra Show at CC's Pizza in Marshall, Texas. Well, each week we show up at noon to do the show, and if you show up too, you can have the buffet, including the drink, only for $5. Mike Midkiff, along with Jason Souls, just talked with the head football coach of the Tigers, Joshua Eargle, about last week's win over Sul Ross State, 45-30. Tigers are preparing to play Hardin-Simmons this Saturday in Abilene with a 2 p.m. kickoff on the ETBU Sportsnet. We got Josh Warmington, the quarterback from the Tigers, also joining us now, along with Tyler Bates, wide receiver for ETBU. Before we talk to Josh, we're going to talk to Tyler first. And Tyler, you're a two-sport student athlete. When you came to ETBU, was that your plan to play baseball as well as football?
Yes, sir.
How did that work out in your mind? Did you think you had enough time to do it?
Well, I was always told that it was going to be challenging, but I mean, a lot of people believed in me. Like my parents, they wanted me to. But I'm going to be honest, I wanted to play football or baseball first, but then my friends, they wanted me to play football.
So how do you make that transition each season? Is there a time where you got to cut football off and start thinking about baseball?
Well, definitely not not till the last game of the season. But once I'm in football, and then after football's over, I go straight to baseball.
We're with Tyler Bates, the wide receiver for the East Texas Baptist University Tigers. Now, each week on the ETB Facebook page, we have a vote concerning the performances of Tiger athletes. And this week, I should say, you had a chance to vote on 3 performances. Shelby Taylor's performance at the ASE Cross Country Meet. Also, Tyler Bates' performance in the game against Sul Ross, and and Landon Price's performance at the ASE Cross Country Meet. And I'm ready to reveal the vote of the fan vote. And the winner of the best performance by a Tiger athlete goes to Tyler Bates this week for his 195 yards receiving and 3 touchdowns. Congrats to Tyler for winning the vote. Every week, ETB Athletics will have a fan vote on Facebook sponsored by Matt and Courtney Bush-Workman of Team Higher Purpose of Advocare. And if you share on Facebook who you voted for, your name will be entered for a chance to win products from Advocare later this year. So, Tyler, let's talk about the game against Sul Ross State University. In the ball game, you caught 12 passes for 195 yards, 3 touchdowns. You tied a career record in ETB history of 20. How does that feel to you to be able to get your name in the record book for Tiger football?
It feels great. It shows how hard I work each and every week just to get better. But first off, I should already broke the record, but unfortunately I tripped over the 5-yard line. I still have nightmares about that, but it just feels great.
Jason, so do you have a question for Tyler?
Yeah, Tyler, 12 catches. Do the other guys give you a hard time and say, come on, man, let's share some of that?
Yeah, some of the other receivers like
mainly
Roy Butler. Yeah, he's the main one, but other than that, no, nobody else.
No, we like to ask some silly questions from time to time. Hardy Hill, he's a feisty little guy. And then on the other side, you got Dominic Bailey. You get to go against those guys every day at practice. If you had one play and you needed to get open, which one of those guys would you least like to face?
Well, I'm not scared. I'm not scared of either one of them, but I would have to say D. Bailey just because going off his past performances, he's both of them are great corners, but I think D. Bailey's more experienced, so I think he know me the best.
Gotcha. And talking, what are your favorite types of routes to run? We've seen you catch the deep ball. We've seen you, come underneath on one of the little inside screens. We've seen you throw passes and run reverses. What is your, when the play gets called at the line, or I guess we don't huddle, but at the line, which one do you get real excited about?
I would have to say more like screens or something like that. Something short, just get the ball in my hands and so I can make people miss.
Well, Tyler, being a part of Tiger baseball as well as Tyler football, what do you like about the athletic experience at ETBU that says, hey, I'm glad I chose to come to East Texas Baptist University for not only for academics but also athletics?
Yeah, well, not many people get to play both sports, so I think I'm getting the best of both worlds, both from Coach Eargle and Coach Hood at the moment, but they're both great guys, and not many people get to play two sports at the college level.
When Josh Warmington flashes the signs or Scotty Walden's signal on the sideline and it's your time to catch the ball, what's going through your mind as you come to the line of scrimmage and know the route you got to make because the ball's coming your way?
I definitely know I just got to get open. Josh will give me the right ball, and I just got to catch it.
The touchdown pass you had against Sullivan State, it was interesting there. You had Alfred on your right side and you're on the inside, and Josh threw it to you. Was that called? Was that a play called to come to you on that play, or did Josh make an adjustment and throw it to you instead of him?
Well, it was really his choice, I guess. But he just kind of threw it up. I guess he trusted me like always, and I just made a play.
As you face Hardin Simmons this week, what does your team have to do for a victory as you get ready this week?
Well, we got to be disciplined and cut out all the penalties and just, I don't know, they're not the most talented, but they are disciplined. So we're the most penalized team in the AAC, so we're definitely going to have to cut that out.
Well, Tyler, thank you for your